we back?
Welcome to the live scream!
Hold on, let's just check. I'm gonna just verify.
Let's just be...
Let's just check.
Hello,
She's gonna beat
everyone.
me to it.
Hopefully you can see us. If you can't see us, we'll figure that out in a second.
Oh, it's not lagging. The video isn't lagging.
Listen, we knew this day would come. The day
Okay,
when we
can you
try 3 times and we are successful at the very last second.
Cool.
Hello, my name's Anahí. This is
I'm Allie.
and
Carine.
and we are your 3 pearls from Purl Perspectives. It is almost our 2-year anniversary of going
What the
live.
heck? What the heck?
Is that not crazy?
It is. I'm just now posting in the stories that we made it.
Okay, everybody, smile.
Oh, that was a photo. Always freaking does this. Okay. Here we go. Smile. Smile.
Yay.
Smile, world. We're live. We made it live.
And this is a podcast where we come together every 2 weeks and we simulate a knit night. So if you don't have a community to reach out to, or you want some company on this snowy, cold winter Sunday, here we are. Sit down and grab a bevy and your project or whatever you're working on, and let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Today on the docket, we have a reintroduction of who we are to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. We have changed, probably you have changed, so we want to do a little bit of like where we are now and have a little bit of a re-intro of ourselves so you know who we are. Then we're going to talk about our dorks, which are drinking, outfit, reading, and knitting. And after that, we have a little bit of a conversation or a discussion on some observations that we have gathered. We've made some observations on the state of the, I guess, knitting culture on the internet.
Yeah, and how like the state of the world is being shown
Reflected
through it. Yeah,
through
reflected by it.
And we're ending the episode with a little bit of knit-spiration for you. So, get cozy and let's get started.
Yeah. Okay, introductions. Round 3.
This little loaf right here is Bilbo. He's our mascot and he has a lot of skin.
Yeah.
And he likes it when I pull it up.
And also a lot of opinions.
Yeah, he
does
does.
have a lot of
Sometimes
He
if
makes
you
them
hear
known.
him like snore or
Really
snort,
loud, it's
that's
like-
usually his like, I
That's
don't
so
agree with
true.
this.
Yeah,
Or I agree with this.
Change the topic, you know?
Yeah.
He's Annie's soul pug. That's
Absolutely.
That's who he is.
He is the owner of my paychecks and of my heart. He is perfect in every way.
Except the whole feet and ear licking thing. That I take umbrage with.
You know what? I do take issue with that. We're working on it. He has environmental allergies and it makes them
Oh no, I
very
meant licking
itchy.
our feet.
Oh, I thought like
Yeah,
he would lick
he's,
his feet and
yeah.
then use that feet to lick inside to scratch his ear.
Well, that's just dog behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You can't
he's
argue with
gross.
that.
I'm not
he
gonna.
definitely has a bit of a foot and ear fetish.
Yeah, seriously.
We'll keep him. He's amazing.
So I guess, like we said earlier, and this is our 3rd go, we have been coming together, sitting here and chatting away for 2 freaking years.
Yep. End of January.
On and off, I would say.
Mhm.
But it's been kind of a wild ride.
You kind of likened it to a diary, almost.
Yeah, I was saying it's kind of like a journal, like a diary or like a time capsule, you know? When I have no idea what my opinions were 2 years ago. So I'm interested to like continue with this live stream practice and then go back and see like, what the hell was I talking about 10 years ago? I don't know if this happens to you, but like I feel like a completely different person than I was a few years ago. Like no cell in my body is the same.
Yep.
No thought in my brain
Even
is
just
the
a
same.
year ago, I feel like a different
Yeah,
version
like
of that.
I mean,
I don't
it's
agree
been
with
a
my past
year.
self a lot of the times.
Let's be 100%
you're so
real.
right.
It's been a year.
Been a
You
capital
know?
Y year.
A lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
Some of them resulted in growth. Some of them didn't. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yep.
Should I introduce myself?
Go for it.
Yeah, please.
Okay, 3rd go around. My name's Anahí. I always have a lot of ideas. This podcast was an idea that I brought to Allie and then to Carine, and I always talk a lot of shit and then I never follow through. But when you're friends with these two, they make things happen. And so,
Sometimes to our own detriment.
yeah.
Things do occur.
So I do believe this is a consequence of my own actions that I'm now living with very happily, I should say.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been fun. I grew up in Mexico and I've been crocheting and knitting and crafting and sewing and stuff since I was 6 years old. My mom had an old sewing machine, the ones that come out from the desk. Really, really old one, and I learned to sew there. And when I was in first grade, I learned to crochet. My parents received a note because I was not supposed to be crocheting in class, but I still was doing that under the desk. It was really cute, I should say.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah, and I've been really leaning into that kind of fiber textile arts my whole life, really. I'm now 37. So yeah, I would say my entire life I've been doing some sort of craft, but I didn't really get hard into knitting until like late university, and then when I eventually moved here to Canada, I wanted to learn more about making really warm accessories, garments, and now I'm into a lot of like oversized garments, a lot of color. I like interesting like texture patterns. Yeah.
Can you say that Canada's winter influenced your exponential growth in knitting?
It 100% did. It did.
It's like you come here and you're like, no.
Yeah, I came here, like, I kid you not, I still have the hat that I came here with 11 years ago, and it was a crochet cable hat, and I thought it was the warmest thing I had. Absolutely inappropriate for the winter in Canada. I immediately had to like make and buy other hats because it was just not warm enough. Yeah. And it's really interesting to me that I kept that hat because it's like all raggedy now, but it was made from like thrifted Bernat like acrylic yarn. Yeah. And it's full of like lacy textures because that's how I like to crochet. And it's not elastic at all because I didn't know how to do elastic ribs in crochet back then. And I've grown a lot since there. I like to call them level up projects, which is every time I make something new, I make sure that I'm learning at least a new technique. Yep. Not very strictly. Sometimes I just want comfort and ease, and that's fine. But if I'm going to make a big thing, I like to learn something about it. Yeah, so that's me.
Yeah.
How about you?
Fantastic. Well, my name is Ali. I am a Punjabi Canadian of Ojibwe extraction, human being, living here, working in heritage.
Oh, you're such a cocktail.
I know, isn't it great? Being just like a scientist in my professional life. Well, a scientist in that's not my job description, but I do science in my everyday life, or my everyday job. Anyway, whatever. I am a historian and a conservator by training, working in heritage right now, which is truly like the dream for me. I did not think that it would be possible to get my dream job, and then I did, and I still don't know how I did it, and I like wake up every morning afraid they're going to take it away from me, which in today's government job climate, you never really know. But, you know, whatever. I have been crafting, I've been knitting specifically for about 16 years. I took it up in earnest as like an everyday practice about 8-ish, 9 years ago when I was in graduate school, and I found it was a really good way to like disconnect from the lab work, from dissertation research, and to just like take a step back from like the heavy academic thinking, and knitting became a everyday part of my life then. It also helped that I was living with a fellow grad student who was also a knitter, and so it became this like fun way that we would just like at the end of the day we would just be like, okay, laptops away, pull out your knitting, decompress, let's just gab, let's have some dinner. It was fantastic. Would recommend taking up a handicraft in graduate school as a way to disconnect from academia.
Don't go to grad school.
Actually, that's also a really key piece of advice. Don't do that as well. It sucks. One of the main things I got out of graduate school was realizing I never ever want to do a PhD. I really dislike the dissertation writing process so much, and it was just for a 2-year master's degree that I can't even conceptualize like a 5 or 7 year PhD. That would just... I don't think I personally could survive something like that. Kudos to the people who do it. You are the real MVPs. I am recognizing my limits, and I'm choosing to stick within them. In addition to knitting, I also embroider. I also cross stitch. I'm a very amateur sewist, trying to get better at it because I want to be able to make my own clothes. As you will hear me say multiple times on the podcast in the past and in the future, I have a pear-shaped body. I'm basically a Dorito. I'm
a sexy Dorito.
A sexy Dorito. I'd say Cool Ranch, personally. Cool Ranch Dorito. But I am a triangle-shaped human with an apron belly, and so fast fashion, I really... Bilbo has it. He's like, yeah, Doritos are great. Fast fashion really just doesn't fit my body at all. Yep. So I make a lot of modifications to any knitwear that I make for myself, and I really want to better my sewing practice so that I can create clothing that actually fits my body. Because it's not me, it's the clothing that's the problem.
Absolutely it is.
Mm-hmm. Reminder to yourself, it's not you, it's the clothing, it's the fast fashion sizing that's the problem. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's me. I love three things. Well, I love more than three things in my life, but my greatest joys can be found reading a good book while knitting on my couch and knowing that I'm having dinner out with friends that night. That's like the perfect day for me. So
love that for us.
Love to eat, love to knit, love to read, love to travel. Be my friend, please, if you like any or all of those things.
I'll think about it.
Yes. I got maybe one. Yeah, that's me. Carine, what about you?
Hi, I'm Carine. Je suis la Québécoise du groupe. So I represent the French Canadian, I guess, or Québécois people in this group. I am the, I guess, baby of when it comes to the knitting journey, because I only started Yeah, because I started about like, I want to say like 8 or 9 years now. I don't know. It's been a while. It hasn't been that long, but it's still been a while.
It's still been, yeah.
That's
been a hot minute.
I'm originally from Montreal, moved here for work. I'm a self-proclaimed language nerd. My goal is to learn and speak 5 languages before I die.
I believe in you.
I'm at 3 now, or I want to say 2 3/4.
3 proficient ones.
When it comes to knitting, I don't dip my toes. I just jump in the deep end and hope for the best.
Can confirm.
I love that for you.
The first thing I ever knit was a cable sweater.
No. It was an all-over tunic size sweater.
Yep.
In tweed yarn.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Because why not, indeed?
My girl said, let's put this game on hard mode.
Immediately.
I had to redo it like 3 times. Well, not the whole thing, but like parts of it 3 times. But I learned a lot. And what I learned about myself is that so I have ADHD, if I'm not interested in the thing that I do, I will not do it. So I needed a project that was like, that I was very passionate about to like get into this knitting journey. So I went for a sweater that I wanted to buy but could not, and I was like, well, I'm gonna make it. And then I made it, and that's that. And then I became obsessed with cables, just because I like them.
Cable queen.
What else? I love pretty much a lot of the things that Allie has mentioned. Sorry,
It's
like
okay.
We've only
It's
known
the
each
brain
other
fog
for
right
7
now.
years.
It's the new year. Nobody's working. Nothing. It's all buffering still.
Our brains
So
are on
yeah,
vacation.
and that's pretty much it, I guess.
I would also mention that you have, from the 3 of us, I think the most recognizable color palette.
Mm-hmm.
You have a really...
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think you intentionally thought about it and like sat down and made a color palette.
Yeah.
No, I
but
just
like
love
you have an inkling for like the cool tones and pastels.
I'm kind of obsessed with the
A
pastels.
lot of blues, a lot of lilacs.
Yeah.
Although this is kind of a little bit of a departure, I guess.
I still see the blues.
But it's great.
But you've got a lot.
It kind of
like,
looks like blue, eh? But it's great. Oh,
I hesitate.
Suspected scam.
Oh, I love that.
Not again.
Yay. But yeah, so I do have a bit of a color palette. I think and it's literally just like, these are the colors I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
Ooh. Another fact about you. Loves alpaca.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's true. This is all alpaca.
I would say you're very fiber motivated.
I think of all the, I want to say like color definitely plays a role, but for me it's how the yarn feels on my skin.
Yeah.
because I am a little allergic. Not allergic, but I do have
Sensitive.
sensitivities.
Yeah.
So like if like this is the only merino so far that has given me no reaction.
Okay.
So I don't know what they do to this thing because it is merino,
Yeah.
but it does
Did you
nothing.
hold it together with a suri?
No.
Mohair?
It's mohair.
Interesting.
So
So-
maybe the mohair is insulating you from the merino.
Yeah.
Maybe.
could
But I
be.
have other sweaters that have this combination that don't like that. I have to be careful up here a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
This one, nothing. Bilbo agrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely about
Yeah.
fiber content. I want to say that's
Yeah,
that's
fiber
a good
motivated.
way. Alpaca
Good way
is
to
one
be.
day I will own an alpaca farm,
I believe this about you.
or at least my neighbor will. One of those two.
Someone will.
Somebody will.
Somebody I
Somebody
care
will.
about will. So, should we do our?
Let's
That's
move-
us. That's us.
That's
I would love to know a little bit about who's watching.
Yeah.
How'd you get here?
Yeah, that's
love
true.
to have you come on in, but also, what are you into? Are you also into knitting? Are you fiber motivated? Are you color motivated?
Mhm.
Do you do any other crafts? What's up with you? Let us know in the
Yeah.
comments. We want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And maybe we can have a little bit of a section on like what y'all are into in the coming year.
Let us know.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right,
That
should we
would
do
be
some
fun.
dorks?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
some dorks.
Okay, so for those of you that are new to the dork is
Us.
we are dorks.
Yes, we
It's
are.
us.
But also, it's an acronym.
It's an acronym. We didn't make it up.
Nope.
I think Sarah the Fairy did it.
It's been all over the interwebs for a bit.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
dork
like it.
stands for drinking, outfit, reading, knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll each go through and we'll share what it is that we are drinking, what we're wearing, what we're reading, and what we are making. Doesn't have to be knitting. It can be whatever thing, whatever project we're working on. And let's see what people are up to this week. Who'd like to go first?
You go first.
All right.
I'm voluntelling you.
That's okay. I, as the quintessential agua person, I'm drinking water again today. I did have a pretty darn good smoothie on before coming here.
What flavor?
It was berries and chocolate mix. It was very
How do
like
you
it was like
cho-
dark.
How do
well,
you
just
chocolate a smoothie?
I just went
You stick-
protein, like a really nice
Oh,
big
like a chocolate protein
shake.
Yeah.
But like
Or you put chocolate chips in it.
or
And then blend it. That's what I do.
If you want, you can do raw cocoa. You add a little bit of
I
raw
do have some
cocoa, and then you can do like either maple syrup or honey or chocolate chip, or all of those things. But I like to pair it with raspberry. Like
Yummer!
it's so
Sounds
good.
good.
And yeah, so that's what I had on my way
Do
here.
you do fresh fruit or frozen food?
Both? Look, okay, I should. In the winter, mostly frozen, just because they're more expensive. In
Yeah.
the summer, I tend to do more fresh, just
Okay.
because fresh. But I do think like it's a smoothie, so frozen tends to give a better texture.
Yeah.
I agree.
So sometimes I'll do a mix of both, like frozen strawberry with fresh raspberry. Like where at least one fruit's gonna be frozen, because then it gives you that like nice,
That thick.
that thick consistency. You can't really
Thick.
get that with fresh fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
so that's what I'm drinking, just water.
Some
Outfits. Yes, this is my matcha sweater
It's
that
done!
I have been knitting for a little bit. Those stupid edges took forever.
But the
Specifically this
sleeves
one.
look. Mwah.
But it is, I'm obsessed with it. It's, The Wandering Flock is the yarn. And I'm pretty damn sure, again, I will say this for the last time because I still find it funny. This is not sky blue. This color should have been called periwinkle, but whatever.
It's more purple leaning than blue
Yes.
leaning, to be sure.
So yeah, that's my outfit. I'm loving it. It's very soft.
It is
and
beautiful.
it's giving me luxury a little bit.
And I'm
It
kind of
is,
obsessed with
yeah.
the mock neck. It's like
The
not really
shape.
truly a turtleneck. It's a
Yeah.
Twisted
half
rib.
turtle.
It's like a twisted. Oh no, it's very.
all of the little details of like the seaming look and
That is so much twisted rib.
but it looks so nice.
It does, but it looks like it would drive me insane to do that much twisted rib.
Yeah, no,
it looks
it was
fantastic.
It was a labor of
It's
love
you,
for
yeah.
sure. This part, while I was knitting this part, I was like, "This is amazing," and then I got to this part down
and
there,
you're like, oh,
and I was like, I hate everything and everyone. It was still like I still love it.
Yeah.
But my initial thought of I want to make 5 of this is now
Tempered,
very much so.
or like over a 10-year period.
I would do another one if like only so that I can have one in actual
like
matcha green, because I do feel like it's a beautiful color. But that's it. That's the only reason I would do another one.
Question then. You have said that you are a monogamous knitter. One,
Yes.
maybe 2 projects at the most.
Yes.
Do you think if you knit another one, you'd give yourself like a relief project so that you could bounce back and forth?
Yes.
Okay.
When I get to this part, 100%. But here's the thing though, if I have to be careful with that, because if I do that, I tend to put it aside and then not want to come back.
actually do
right?
it.
So
Okay,
sometimes
okay.
I do have, like this one, I
Yeah.
had the urge to cast on something else.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, you have to push through, because if you don't push through, you're not going to finish it.
Yeah.
So I think it may not be a bad idea, but I would have to be careful in the way I approach
Maybe
that.
did it like, oh, you can work 45 minutes on this other project
Yeah,
if you finish this section of the
I have,
pattern or
yes,
something.
that would
Okay.
work. I do work very well with like rewards to myself,
Yeah.
where it's like,
A
yeah.
reward system is never
Yeah.
a bad idea.
yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I am reading, I'm almost done with not the latest, but the Sarah Cate's, oh god, which one is it? Madam, I think it's number 5. Anyway, the one before Good Girl Effect. So if you know the series, her most recent one is Good Girl Effect. Madam is the one before. It's a very beautifully well-written series that is very open about the BDSM community done right, and it's just
That's nice.
beautiful
Oh,
stories.
I love good representation.
Yeah.
It's also very much LGBTQ friendly,
Love
which I
that.
adore.
All the boxes are being ticked.
So yeah, this is her, like, not the latest. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So
and
who's
I'm-
this author again?
Sarah Cate.
And is it
S-A-
romance?
Yes, very much romance.
Oh,
Be in
it
the
does-
box below.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily
a
have to
day
be
or two.
romantic.
No, in this case, yes, we are. And then I'm almost done with it. So the second I'm done with this, I'm reading volume 3 of my Reign of Shadow and Endings obsession. I finished the second one, and I was like, I can read. I couldn't even look at the third book because it's so emotionally damaging. Each book,
Oh my god.
like so much emotions You go through so many emotions that after the second one, I was like, I need a break. And now I think I'm ready for third one.
Good.
So that's my next one. And as for what I'm knitting, I am currently knitting the first pattern for me anyway, from the Arctic Knits from Saskie. It's called the Arctica, I believe. Arctica Jumper.
And it's coming up.
Oh.
Lovely.
Let me just
That
see
is
if there's
so
no
sweet.
big picture, but I can show you.
Is it the one on the cover?
Oh yeah, I think so. Well, kind of, yes.
Sort of.
So you kind of get to see the color work. Wait, this way. So this is the one I'm knitting. It's and I tried
So
to go
beautiful.
for natural looking fiber colors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a little
they
bit
look
more-
very earthy.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
got
a
this
little
at
bit
Knit
more-
City, right?
Or
Twist?
No, it was Twist.
Twist.
So this is I want to shout out because this yarn is
Yeah.
wonderful.
And
so,
the folks there from the farm were
Yes.
so sweet.
So
They were
if
really
you if
sweet.
you've never been to Twist, it is a I want to say semi-local
Yes.
wool show, trade show, I would say.
It happens at Saint-André-d'Avelin,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is a pretty much
So
I
if
want
you
to say
if you know
an
where
hour away.
Montebello is,
Yes.
it's very close to Montebello. It's about an hour-ish away from Ottawa. It's kind of in between Montreal and Ottawa.
So it's a really great opportunity once a year to go and meet some Quebec and region
Regional.
region wool producers and notions makers and artists
And
from
dyers,
and
yeah.
dyers from
Yeah.
around the area.
And you can pet some sheep, and you can watch a sheepdog demonstration,
Which is like so much fun.
My favorite part really.
meet some Angora bunnies.
Oh,
You can do
it's-
some workshops,
Yeah.
and every year they brew a special lager beer.
Yeah, they have a partnership with a brewery in Ottawa. Is it?
I think so.
And every year they have a Twist themed beer, and there's a big sheep on the can. So
And it's fantastic.
it's really good. Yeah.
Oh no, it's I don't want to. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite festival, but
It's
there's
really
something
good.
about that one
Yeah.
that no.
It's just extra special.
Yeah,
'cause it's
like
local
there's a
to us.
vibe that you don't get.
If you
anywhere
are
else.
in and around this region, and you've always wanted to do a fiber festival, but Knit City is maybe a bit too far or a bit too intimidating by size, Twist is a really good place to start. It's small by comparison. They take place in the like community center hockey rink in Saint-André-d'Avelin. So there's like one community hall that has stuff. The rink space, they obviously melt the ice. That is a big market hall. And then there's some stands outside as well. And so it's a lot easier to explore without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah. And the entry fee is very accessible, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
So this past year we went there, Carine, you met this guy from an alpaca farm.
Yeah, so this is from Ferme Récréative Casa. It's a 100% royal alpaca. I'm trying to see.
Royal alpaca?
It's like a DK weight, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. Oh, this is worsted.
Worsted weight, okay.
They're located in Saint Stanislas, Quebec.
Stanislas.
And
it's beautiful.
The colors are very earthy, and it really called to me. Well, I mean, when I touched it, it sang to me. But like when I was looking at the colors, I was like, "That's giving me like this sweater, like a lot,
well,
right?"
It's undyed. It's just the natural color of the alpaca. Just if I remember correctly.
I think he does dye them, some of them, but like, I don't quote me on this, but I just like I loved it. I just pretty much jumped on it, and then the second I touched the yarn, I was like, "It's coming home with me."
Yeah,
and little by little, we each caught up with Carine that afternoon and touched that yarn. And I was like, "Where did you get that?" And she would walk each of us back to the
I did it like 3 times.
To the stand, and the man was like, "You're back."
Yeah.
And she was like, "And I brought a friend."
I was in the stall with you, and you're like, "I can't decide which colors." And you were like, we were mixing and matching to trying to get the palette because you had said you wanted to make the sweater. And by the time you had made your decision on colors, you were basically like, "I'm just going to take this whole shelf's worth of yarn."
Seriously.
And the owner of the farm was standing in the stall, and he was like wide-eyed, like, "That's a lot of yarn." And you were like, "It's cut all of it.
It's coming with me." He was super sweet though. He was him and his son were there. I believe it was his son.
Yeah.
And no, it was a very nice interaction. And if they're there at Knit, because I believe that's the first time I've seen them. So if they're there at the next Twist or Knit City, I will buy another shelf worth of yarn.
Best believe.
Like, that's not even a question.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what I'm knitting right now. It's coming coming along. It is a little, so 3 days ago, I had to rip back 15 rows, and I was so devastated.
Really?
I cried like a little baby.
What happened?
So I realized I'm an idiot. Okay, this is very much my fault. So there's 3 increases. And after the first one, I'm like, "This looks good." Kept going. "This looks good." Kept going. After the 3rd increase, I'm like, "I am missing 30 stitches. What is happening?
Oh, no.
Why is this?" So I ripped back to the next increase, like the previous increase, sorry. And then I was still missing 20 somewhat stitches. Yeah. So clearly that mistake had been made somewhere there. So, and then the only saving grace is when I got to the 3rd increase, that one was okay. Yeah. So I knew that I didn't have to do this particular one. I didn't have to But yeah, I went, and it's funny because like my partner was like on his way out, and I was like, it's gonna sound stupid, I don't like to be emotional in front of people. So like, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Uh-huh." And then he's like, "I'm going out. Is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then the second he gets out, I'm like, "Yeah!" For like 2-3 minutes. And then I was like, "You're fine." And then I kept going back. And then the thing is, what ended up happening is I knit back about like, I want to say half of those rows in that evening, just out of pure sheer frustration at myself. Because again, this is very much my own fault. Yep. All I had to do was count the damn stitches after each increase.
Counting is overrated.
I know, but you know what? This is a lesson that I need to learn, where sometimes you do have to take those extra steps to make sure you don't have to rip a project half apart.
I'll tell you what else. Sometimes you gotta have a little cry about it.
Yep. Can
For
confirm.
2 to 3 minutes.
Can confirm.
And then get right back up in the saddle.
And then I ate chocolate, and I was okay.
There you
Love
go.
that for you.
I literally just went. I just went in the. Thank God I had chocolate left from
the holidays.
And I was like, "Lynch chocolate ball, yes please." And then I ate it, and I kept on watching. I forgot what I was watching, but
whatever.
Yeah. Don't, thank God I was not watching Heated Revelry, because that was that would have been a nightmare.
I still haven't seen it. Don't tell me anything.
It's so good.
It's good.
It's so good.
Although I just want to say, because I saw somebody talking about it on the internet, if you didn't like it, that's okay too.
Yes. It's
You
very
don't
much
have to
like I think for me,
I'm kind of afraid now to watch it because what if I don't like it?
That's fine.
okay.
That's
There's nothing
fine.
wrong with
Okay.
it. I
Yeah.
won't lie. There were parts where I was like, okay, it's cute, but I wasn't like. And then I got to episode 5. I was like, I am so invested. Actually, no, it was episode 3 and then 5. 5 was like if you know, you know. But yeah, like it was a bit of a slow start. I want to say
The slow burn.
Yep.
Which-
a 10-year long slow burn.
so long. That's true. But it's
I love
lovely.
longing.
Yeah, it was a lovely. I just.
It was
love
cute.
it
I
about
enjoyed it. So one of my coworkers, one of my friends, had been watching it from like the first episode as it came out, and she was waiting each week for the episode. And so because I'm a big contrarian, she'd come into work, she'd be like, "Did you watch it?" And I'm like, "No, I'm waiting for all 6 episodes to be
Yeah,
out."
I did the
to
same.
like I'm sorry, Naomi, but I'm actually not sorry. I got a lot of enjoyment out of doing that to you. But I watched the first 2 episodes before my family gathered for the holiday break, and I realized at the end of the second, I was like, I cannot watch this while I'm in one of my parents' homes.
Because it's too spicy?
Not that it's too spicy, but like I knew that it was going to be the only thing I was going to think about.
Oh.
And that I wasn't going to want to interact with my family because I was going to want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I waited the 5 days, 6 days of our holiday gathering, and then after I was back home, then I watched the final 4 episodes,
Okay.
which was enjoyable because I just watched them all in one afternoon.
To be
I
fair,
love
it is
Ninja.
a tad bit spicy. So if you if this is not for you, then this is not for you. But yeah, like just be
Yeah.
aware that it is a little spicy.
I can tell you, as an asexual person, because that's another fact about me, that as an ace person, for the intimate scenes, I literally just went from looking at the screen down to looking at my knitting, and then as soon as the moaning stopped, I'm like, back up to the screen.
You know what?
And,
You know what?
Like, it works.
It works
works.
perfectly fine because sometimes I was like, yeah, and sometimes I was like, no, I'm good, and then I was like, I did exactly the same,
Yeah.
so I get it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of works. But yeah,
It was quite good.
you're 100% correct. If you didn't enjoy it or this is not your scene, there's nothing wrong with that.
Totally. You're
think,
not obligated to like it because it's super popular.
Yeah,
You're
and
not obligated to like anything because it's super popular.
but also you're not obligated to say you don't like it to people who do and kind of like try to diss it. That's also something that I
Yeah.
don't like. Where
don't
people
yuck other people's yums.
exactly.
And accept when other people think something's yuck.
If it's okay, it's
Yeah.
okay. If it's not okay, like you don't have to. It's not because somebody else
Yeah.
thinks differently that
Yeah.
things have to be awkward or just
Yeah.
move on.
And as we've said on previous podcasts, we're just 3 girls with lots of opinions, and they don't need to hold any weight in your life if you don't want them to.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So that's my dork.
Nice.
How about you?
My dork. Okay, so what I am drinking, I have iced coffee. Don't worry, it's not full of iced coffee. I'm not evil.
I was gonna say that would be.
If it's only like this much ice, or it was this much
it
iced
wouldn't
coffee.
be evil. It'd just be like
To
I
my
would be-
colon, I would be evil if I had that much
I
ice
was gonna say you're
Imagine,
sick.
I would be taking my own life into my hands in a not good way if this was full of iced
It
coffee.
would be self-destructive.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
don't. No. So this is iced coffee with some Baileys because it's a Sunday and why not? And it's delightful. My outfit I was wearing before I took it off because I got really, really hot. My newly finished Doppio sweater.
Pew, 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 pew.
It looks
Oh, well, here, I'll put it on for the like
so
5
good.
minutes.
forest green is like
I
giving me
can't.
life.
I love it. Somebody said it looked like lichen, and I think you're right.
Oh,
whoever it
yes.
was
But like
said
it looks, but it literally, when you look at the stitches, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm staring at your boobs right
That's
now.
fine.
But like
They're
the
great.
stitches,
They're
it,
great boobs.
it literally
stare.
looks
Agreed.
like different
Yeah.
trees in a forest.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
It took me a long time to land on the right yarn combo for this one, and I'm really glad I took my time because so the Doppio sweater, if you make it to pattern, is 2 strands of fingering weight and 1 strand of fluff. So I have 1 strand of fingering weight that's like a blue teal, a solid blue like dark teal.
Mhm.
The second strand, which is like a variegated greeny browny kind of yarn, which you can see. It was a much brighter color when it's by itself. But you can kind of see that in the variegation here. And then the Surrey that I use, the fluff, it's plume de paon, peacock feather. So it has some blues, it has some greens, it has a little bit of brown in there. And so it kind of brings the two, the solid teal and that like bright, vibrant, greeny melange together, and it's created this beautiful and I'm obsessed with it. I'm so obsessed with it. I kind of want to knit a hat in the same color combo.
Hell yeah.
So I have the matching
so nice.
sets. But
Hell
we'll
yeah.
see. I made one for myself and I made one for my sister. She has the like light eucalyptus and I have like the dark forest green.
To
as
represent
like
each of your personalities.
yeah, as like a Christmas set. So she really loved hers and I'm very excited about that. And like the day after she got back to Vancouver, her partner sent me a photo and he's like, this is such a sick sweater. And it's like just my sister wearing it. I was like, oh, thanks, Sean. That's really nice of you to say. So that's what I'm also wearing, and I'm not gonna try to get my foot up. I'm just gonna take my sock off. I'm also wearing the Year of the Snake socks by friend of the pod, Elyse Dugal.
Hi, Elyse.
I test knit these last year.
They are so good, bro.
And they're in the Alley Cat Yarns BFL base, and they are like the perfect layering piece in this weather.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
I love how the cables are consistent but very subtle and they lay flat. I always worry that a cable sock is going to be too uncomfortable inside my shoe.
No, it's great.
But this is such a wonderful, like, nice laying cable pattern.
I
really nailed it.
I love these socks so much that I didn't even weave in the ends.
I've just been
wearing them.
I need to wear them yesterday.
And so I love them. Her Year of the Horse socks should be coming out in February. I plan to knit those when they are released.
Yay!
But I just, a word to the wise. If you plan to knit a pair of socks in BFL, they stretched out a lot more than I anticipated.
Okay.
Which I don't hate because I find they're perfect for over a pair of tights like I'm currently wearing. They sit really well, but if I'm just wearing them on my bare feet, I do tend to slide a little bit. So either go down a needle size or maybe drop a couple stitches and go a little bit smaller because you are going to get a bit of growth with the BFL.
I think for me it would be the opposite. I would just have to keep them as is because every
you have wider
sock,
feet.
I have very wide and big feet. So whenever I make socks, that's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of making socks is they're always too small for me. Even when I go like, because I'm not proficient enough to like make modifications, I tend to just go for the whatever is the biggest size they have.
Okay, I'll make you a pair this year then.
Okay. I appreciate
that. I love knitting socks and my sock basket is very full, so I like knitting people's
Speaking of socks, I have procured for myself an antique.
Oh, yes.
And there will be a video about it once I figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
But I bought from a lovely family in Quebec a vintage auto knitter circular sock machine.
It looks so nice.
I just finished putting it together last night, and I'm gonna do some tests and try to figure out how to work it. And I'm really, really excited to use this antique machine to make some socks.
Literally drove to Montreal yesterday with a friend of ours to pick it up. Like, this is a fresh acquisition.
Pete MVP drove me to Montreal.
Pete MVP, truly.
He was great. We were in the car for like 6 hours. But no, I'm really excited. And I was just because you've mentioned the like fit. I've been watching a lot of videos on how to like adjust the tension in the machine so that you can do the same number of stitches but with wider or narrower feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. So I'm excited to get a new sock skill this year.
Ooh.
Yay, 2026. New
Skill up, skill up.
Skill up.
So what am I? Why did I just start this row? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back these like 6 stitches so that I can actually hold this up and you can see it when I get to the knitting part of my dork. What am I reading right now? I had a pretty prodigious reading slump in the beginning of winter, late fall, early winter. So I'm just now getting back into a place where I'm like, oh, I actually want to pick up a book and read, which is great. Love that for myself. I just recently finished Only Cold Depths by Jennifer Estep. This is the fifth book in the Galactic Bonds series. Somebody told me to read this series, but I can't remember who it is. So if it was you, please identify yourself and thank you because I am loving this series so much. I just got the next book in the series from the library. The Hulk just came in. It's the most recent release. I'm very excited to read that. But in the meantime, I am currently reading Through Gates of Garnet and Gold, which is the most recent Wayward Children book. I think it's number 11 by Seanen Maguire. This is a book of novellas. This is a series of novellas about children who have like fallen through doorways into like other worlds, but then get sent back to their world of origin and like how they cope with that.
Ooh.
It's honestly, you both I think would love them.
I think that's really an interesting.
And
That's
they're all novellas, so they're all about like 160, 180 pages.
Yeah.
I love this series so much. A friend of mine introduced it to me like 5 years ago, and there's about one book released a year, so I've been reading them as they come out, and they're so good. They are a bit dark, I will say that. There are aspects of some of the stories that can really
be jarring,
upsetting to certain readers, so I would definitely read those trigger warnings available online if this is something that you're interested in. But it is the stories of these children who they go to these far off worlds, they build a life for themselves that they love, but then they get thrust back into their original world without wanting to have been thrust back.
Were they
Kinda
sent
like what
to that
happened to
world wanting?
So like they're born like in Earth 1. Let's just say they're born in Earth 1 in this world, and then one character goes to this like candy world, and she like builds a life. She has a family.
But like she wants to go to that world.
Well, she like walks through the door not realizing that she's going to somewhere else. She just thinks she's going through a door, and then she finds herself in this other world, and then she has this whole life, this whole adventure. She builds a family. And then something happens and she gets sent back to this world. And she...
Is it kind of like Narnia where time has not passed?
Yeah. You come back and you're like the same age, or... In some cases time does pass. But it's different for each world. But then these kids come back and they all end up at this like private school for children who've gone through doorways.
Oh, this is that common that there's a special school.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But the thing is, this school doesn't try to get kids to be like, it didn't happen to you. They're like, we understand, we accept, this did happen to you. We like, we've been through the doors as well. Those worlds are real. The experiences you had were valid.
Wow.
Are you having some nightmares, Bilbo?
He's a very active dreamer.
Oh, okay.
You and me both, buddy.
Yeah, sometimes he'll be sleeping on his side and he'll be like,
aww, I love it. He's like chasing a squirrel.
Chasing or something.
But yeah, the Wayward Children series by Seanen Maguire.
Wayward Children.
Seanen Maguire. Fantastic. She writes other books under a different pseudonym, but I'm blanking on that pseudonym right now. Fantastic. Very quick reads. I got so lucky. I got the notification. So because I've read all of her books in this series, I had put like an alert on the new book when it was coming out. And so when the Ottawa Public Library received a copy of it through Libby, the digital platform, I got a notification being like, oh, the Ottawa Library has just acquired this copy. And so I clicked on the notification, and I was the first person to take the book out.
Nice! That has to be some kind of achievement.
So it was like one copy available. And I was like, borrow, download. And so I'm only like 30 pages in, but I'm so excited. I think, honestly, I might just finish it tonight. I might just sit down and read
This is your reminder to get on Libby.
Yes.
It's so great.
It's fantastic. So that's what I'm currently reading. I've got a lot of plans ahead of me. I have like a stack of books on my couch of like physical books. I just got in a copy of Dungeon Crawler Carl from the library as well.
Oh, I need to read that.
So I'm going to read that one too. One of our neighbors recommended it to me back in July, and the hold only just came through now. So that's how popular this book is. But I'm excited to read it. I can't remember what it's about, which is my best preferred way to interact with a book.
Yeah, why not?
I'm like,
surprises. If I had to guess, it's about an adventurer called Kara that goes on a dungeon crawl.
Yeah, probably. But yes, that's what I'm reading. I will have down below all of the names of the books and everything that we mentioned, and I'll also have the link to my like Storygraph. So if you want to be friends on Storygraph, let's share what each other's are reading. I'm pretty active. I love books so much. But what am I knitting? Because that's probably what you're all here for. What are we crafting? Currently, it doesn't look like much, but this is the beginning, the front and the back of the Lusk Tea by Rebecca Clow. This was supposed to be a Christmas gift for my mom. I ended up giving her the cone of yarn for Christmas because I wasn't able to cast it on before Christmas. But she's going to Italy in early February, and I've told her that I will have it done by then. And she's a small lady, so this will be smaller garment than I normally knit for myself, so I think I should be able to do it.
What gauge is this? It looks like a fingering weight.
I'm knitting this on a 3.5 millimeter needle.
Oh, that's smaller than I'm used to. Okay.
Fingering weight yarn. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if I'm able to finish it by February 7th or 8th or whatever day.
And what's the pattern again?
The Lusk. Tlusk.
Lusk.
Yeah.
There is a cave called Lusk Cave.
Here.
Yes.
Here in the Gatineau National Park.
Very popular
Provincial Park.
It's a very popular little spot that
Yeah.
you can actually go dive in.
Yeah.
I've never been and I really want to go.
I would rather die. Like,
is that right?
It's terrifying to me because I'm claustrophobic a little bit. So like, and there's
like
an area.
It's like a flooded area.
Yeah. So there's
right?
obviously you can go in.
Spelunky.
But there's an area where you have to have like a light and you have to go underwater fully. Like you can't just nope. That gives me like
I didn't know you had
heebie-jeebies.
to go fully underwater.
Not for the
It's
whole
scary.
thing.
No.
for the
Just like,
specific
and
part of it.
for me, it's not even that part. It's the walls and
Yeah.
the darkness. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I didn't know
it
that
is-
about you.
It's
That's
actually
good to know.
really, it's a really cool like little spot, and
Yeah.
I don't mind going to the other side because you can go see where people come out, and I'm like, you survived, good for you. Like, yeah, no.
No, thank you.
I once did
I'm not bad at either.
what do you call the mud hero, and we had one of the things that we had to do was crawl inside and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I happily did the whatever 20 burpees I had to do rather than go in there, and everybody's like, are you crazy? I'm like, no, you're crazy for going in this weird tight hole. Like, no.
That's what.
My friend Kadam once did the mud race too, and he said, I just want to do it because my friends did it last year and they got fantastic, professional, awesome, badass looking pictures. And he went on it, and the pictures that he got were absolutely incredible.
Not only that,
Yeah.
you get a full on body mud scrub, and it's like, because
That was
even if you
so
try
cool.
damn hardest not to get like thrown in,
Yeah.
the last obstacle is usually a mud bath.
Yeah.
So you gotta crawl all the way up to your face, and then you're like, I guess this is happening. And you go all the way to the end,
Free
and you're
spa
like,
day.
You
Yeah,
get
it's a free
hosed
spa
off
day.
at the end, so don't worry. You're not taking too much mud into your
if
car.
you
That's
if
so
you
funny.
if you would like to do a race and you're a little intimidated by like Spartan races things or whatever, the mud race is actually a really nice starting point, I find, because it's not super complicated.
So just to finish up my dork before we move on to Annie at minute 47 of
Hee
this episode, I will say that I have decided this year to join the 12 cast-ons make-along hosted by Ange of the Yarn and Yarn podcast. I will link the introduction video down below.
Hello, Ange.
Crazy thing that I realized, not crazy, super cool thing that I realized. So Angela of the Yarn and Yarn podcast is in Penarth, Wales, which is just pretty much beside Cardiff, where I went to graduate school. And Ange used to own a brick and mortar yarn shop in Penarth called Yarn and Yarns, hence the name of the podcast.
Makes
And
sense.
I visited when I was a graduate student.
Stop!
I went to that store, and I didn't realize that the podcast and the shop, which has since closed,
person.
was the same person until she mentioned it on one of the episodes, and I was like, wait a second, I've been there. So
That's so cute.
yeah, so in the past I've worn a sweater called the Tessellated
Oh
Pullover.
yeah. Yes,
The
yes.
yellow of that I bought from her shop.
Look at that.
I know. It's so cool.
How cute is that?
Super fun. But essentially the point of the make along is to cast on or start 12 different projects. Doesn't have to be knitting, it can be any crafting really, between December 24th and January 31st to set you up for the next weeks, months, years worth of baking.
Okay.
And there's no requirement to finish them all by the following December. It'd be nice.
Can
don't
you
have
tell
to.
us categorically what you're making? Like how
I
many
can.
socks, sweaters, accessories?
You're gonna get a kick out of this.
Oh, is it all socks?
No, it's categorized.
Oh,
And I have a list of
knew it.
optional things as well, extras. Like
I would
literally
love to
broken
know
them down.
more.
So the first thing that I cast on, and I'm happy to do this as like a separate video. Let me know in the captions, in the comments, folks, if you actually even want to see this, where I walk through each thing, talk about my plans, talk about the yarn, whatever. So my first project is the Daft Date. This is a very Rebecca Clow heavy list, and it's because I already owned several of the patterns.
And this is a Rebecca Close Stan account.
Also, big fan of her work. I love the way she writes patterns. I think they're very concise. Anyway, So the first one is the Daft Days shawl by Rebecca Clow. I'm doing it in a countdown calendar that is Pride and Prejudice themed from Hella Stella. It was the 2023 countdown calendar, so you can't get the yarn anymore. Very excited about that one. I have started a DK weight jelly roll blanket to use up all the bits and bobs that I have collected.
Like a sewn jelly roll blanket?
No, it's by KF Jones of the Bakery Bears. It's a knitted one.
Oh, so it's the concept of a jelly roll quilt, but in knitting fabric. That's so cute.
Yep. So that will be my like stash busting one throughout the course of the year.
Do you know what a jelly roll is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. The Lusk Tea. This is number 3. This is for my mom. My fourth project is a whole bunch of charity hats. So, funny story. My manager was thrifting in early December, and she found a couple bags of like acrylic bits and bobs, and she was like, Allie knits, I should get this for her. So she picked up this bag of little bits and bobs of acrylic, and she brought it to me, and she was like, I don't know if you like this kind of yarn, but I thought you could use it. And I was like,
actually, yeah.
I was like, I know exactly what I can do with this. So I will be knitting hats for the Ottawa Hospital's newborns,
the newborn wing.
The newborn wing. Thank you. So they collect hats for any babies born at the hospital. They're gifted a handmade hat. I will be knitting...
Every baby in Ottawa gets a free hat.
Born in the Ottawa Hospital system.
Happy 0 birthday.
Yeah. And then I will also be knitting hats for the... What was it? The SOS...
Steps Off the Street.
The Steps Off the Street charity.
Yeah.
So a friend of our... not external arm. So we also, as part of our like overarching crafting umbrella, host Crafternoons at the movies. Our next one is February 7th, where we're going to be showing The Devil Wears Prada at the Mayfair Theatre, Historic Theatre. The lights will be on, craft with community. It's great. But a friend of the Crafternoons has reached out and said, hey, I'd love to do a bit of a drive to get some winter accessories for this charity, hopefully to be collecting them on February 7th. And so we are going to be doing that. And so I'm making a couple of hats, some mitts I think was requested as well.
Yeah, apparently mitts are very necessary this time of year.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So I'll be making some of those as well as part of this like collection of charity makes from this big bag of wool that I received. The fifth thing on my list is a like beachy kind of cover-up tunic thing that I'm making out of a tencel yarn that Carine very kindly gifted me in December. I'm so excited for this one. I'm very loosely using the Tolsta tee as like a starting point for the top.
Okay.
And then when I get to about mid here, I think I might do like a drawstring. I don't know what yet. But then I'll like floof it out into like a tunicky skirt. This is going to be a like fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing. I'm very excited about it.
My favorite thing to do.
My sixth project is a year-long embroidery. So Vika's Space, who is a embroiderer based in the UK, hosts a free year-long stitch-along where you get where you get a landscape pattern, and it's divided into 52 parts, and each week you get a different section to embroider.
That is
and
so
you get
fun.
You get the color key at the beginning, but you don't know which section is which color until that week.
It's a mystery cross-stitch along.
Exactly. So I know what the overall shape of it's going to be. It's like this beautiful mountain landscape, but I don't know like which section's going to be which color. So I just I work with several cross-stitchers, and they have very kindly said that they will supply me with some of the colors that I didn't already have, which is super sweet. So I haven't had to buy anything new. Love that. My seventh project is the Branches sock pattern. I'm blanking on who the designer is. It'll be in the description box below, but it is in the 52 Weeks of Socks book, volume 1. I think it's like the third or fourth pattern, so it's right at the beginning. It's a beautiful overall lace sock that I'm just going to do the leg in lace and then the foot plain. I don't really want to do an entire overall lace sock.
And also, it kind of like is uncomfortable on the top of your foot if your boots are like tight, which mine are. So I much rather have an all stockinette foot and just the cuffs be textured.
Yeah. So project number 7 might become Christmas sock knitting, where every sock pattern I pull from a book.
Oh!
I might make that. I might like expand project number 7 a little bit. We'll see. Project number 8 is a Musselburgh hat for myself. And then I will be making, I haven't cast it on yet, but project number 8 is going to be the Ribka pouch, the little fish pouch.
Freaking love that.
Right? I want to make a dice bag for
Your dice.
D&D, so that I have like, and I have these purple and gray dice, and so I kind of want to make like a purple and gray fish.
For your dice.
And then what I think I might do, depending on how I feel, is I might make a few more to gift my fellow players in my current campaign dice bags as well. But there's like 8 of us, so that might be a little
over ambitious.
So that takes me up to 9 projects. I still have 3 more slots that I haven't picked yet. I'm just gonna let the wind take me. You know, if I cast on something, amazing. If I don't cast on something, then I'll just take 3 of my languishing whips and they will go into those slots. And what I've done is I've basically created a checklist in my phone where like I'll work on a project for a section or like a time amount, and then I'll move it down to the bottom of the list, and the next one in the line gets time. And so that's been kind of fun to like rotate through them.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of projects. I will probably, toward the end of January, taper off doing that and just pick like 1 or 2 to work on actively, and then come back to the others as I finish them. But it's been kind of nice to like say, no, I will cast on a lot of things right now, and it's okay. In fact, it's required that I cast on a lot of things. So,
do you ever have a little bit of guilt on having too many whips?
No, I don't have guilt, but it does sometimes feel overwhelming.
Okay.
Like I never regret casting anything on. If I choose that I don't want to go through with it, I just rip it out.
Yeah.
But I sometimes am overwhelmed by the volume of things, and I sometimes get frustrated that I can't find needles that I want because they're stuck on another project that I haven't worked on in a year.
Got it.
So I think this year I'm going to attempt to be more intentional with like keeping with this rotation of like I work on this thing for 45 minutes, I work on that thing for an hour, I do this section of a thing before I move on to the next one, just to keep things active and like moving along.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We'll see. But yes, that is ultimately my dork. That took us a lot longer than I thought. That took me a lot longer than I thought.
I just realized I used the wrong yellow.
Oh no.
No.
No one's gonna notice.
No, only me.
Yep.
Okay.
Your turn to dork.
This conversation never happened. We don't know what she's talking about.
We'll just bleep it out.
Who's gonna know?
Nobody's
How
gonna
would they know?
They wouldn't know.
They would know.
They wouldn't know.
Okay, yes. I am, what am I drinking? I am drinking the last dregs of a delicious cinnamon latte, homemade, in a lovely mug that is from a powwow that my partner went to through work, and there was an Algonquin artist there that was making these mugs, and it's the exact same shape as the Starbucks mugs that we collect, so it fit exactly right with our
It fits in your cupboard quite well.
in our cupboard because it stacks with the other ones. And I just love the design. I think this is a really traditional sun depiction from
It's like the West Coast kind of style, like
Joe
Coast Salish kind of style.
Joe Wilkins?
Wilson? Yeah.
Wilson or Wilkins? Yeah, no, I love it, and it's delicious.
Smells really good.
That's my drinking. I am a coffee fiend. For a long time I couldn't drink coffee or anything with caffeine or chocolate because I had a surgery to remove a lump on one of my breasts, and they were afraid that was like the doctor was afraid that it was because caffeine was causing a cyst. Apparently that's
a thing
in women. An excess of caffeine or a presence of caffeine generates either benign or malign.
The body is so weird.
Or
Check
malignant.
your titties.
Check your boobies. But this was when I was 18.
Oh wow.
And after years of not having chocolate or caffeine, I went back for a checkup, and the doctor was like, "Nah, you're fine. You could probably have coffee again." And ever since, I'm a coffee fiend.
Yeah, it's
no
been
lumps.
almost 20 years without any issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
But that's
What
good
is
though.
time?
That's good because a long time is better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true. And so far, no further lumps. So
Yay.
I drink as much coffee as I want. and I often want a lot of it.
Check yo titties. Truly,
Check your
while you're
titties.
waiting for the shower to warm up, great time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go like this.
Actually,
Go
there's
like
a more official way that you're supposed to do it,
Yeah.
checking your lymph nodes.
You're supposed to
and
look and
and,
don't
you know,
don't
up
do this.
Anyway,
And then
ask your doctor or find a video on YouTube.
don't follow our advice.
No, but other than checking them regularly, that's good advice. You should
Check your
follow.
boobies.
Even if you weren't born with like breasts, people without breasts can also still develop
Yes,
lumps.
that is
So,
very true.
doesn't matter what gender you were born with or what gender you have now.
Check your titties.
Check your
Check
chest.
Your chest.
Check your chest.
Your chest.
Anyway, so that's my drinking. My outfit is the Vellicore blouse or
Vellicore
shirt,
tee?
Vellicore tee by Andrea Mowry. And I love this. I made this with the base yarn is a combination of linen merino. So it's very light and airy, but also nice and warm. And the color work in the middle I did with a Zauberball that I got as a birthday gift from a friend a few years ago. And just the one single Zauberball was enough for me to make this size large.
And you had a lot left over.
Yeah, I had maybe a good 15 grams left over of the Zauberball. And I did make it a little more cropped than the pattern said to do it, but this is the length that I like. So I guess you could still go longer with it. It's a very simple construction. It's just 2 square panels that you work circularly until up in the sleeve split, and then you work the panels individually and 3 needle bind off at the top. But what's interesting about the Vellicore is that the texture is delicious.
Yes, it is.
It is addicted to it. We all made a
we
Vellicore.
made
we
it.
had a huge knit along in our knitting group a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's a 5-stitch 4-row repeat where like the first and the third row have excitement and the second and the fourth row are just knits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is very nice pacing, I should say.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get overwhelmed by it, although I will say by the time I was at the front and back panels,
Yeah, you were done.
I was so done with it.
Yeah.
Also because I wasn't fast enough to finish it at the same time as everybody else that was in the knit along, so I was the last one, and I was just like, I want to be done with this.
You also put it on
so
hibernation
bored.
for a while, so getting back into it must have been tough.
Yeah, it was kind of rough, and I always have that issue. It's not really an issue. It is a personal challenge that I have, that I often lose steam and motivation to work on my projects. And I don't want to force myself to do them because then I lose the love.
Yeah.
I don't want to associate negative feelings with my garments that I'm making with excitement and joy. And so I often leave them, forget about them, and then truly forget about him until I'm like dusting or cleaning and
Find
they
a
show
bag
up and
somewhere.
then it's,
Like,
oh my
happy
god, the
surprise.
Vellicore! So yeah, that is what I am wearing. Made it myself. What I'm reading, I finished reading All Systems Red by
Martha Wells.
Martha Wells.
The Murderbot
The
series.
Murderbot. I think it's the first one of the Murderbot
I think so.
series. Loved it. And there's a TV adaptation of All Systems Red on Crave, I believe, called Murderbot. It was really enjoyable. I really like sci-fi adventures, and it felt very video gamey as well. But the main character is also the narrator, which I quite enjoy, and I liked the sassiness of Murderbot. He is a very, very, I guess, relatable character. Like, he just wants to be left alone and watch his telenovelas. And unfortunately, freaking capitalism forces him to work. And don't I relate to that? I also want to be left alone, but instead I have to interact with other humans. I'm only half joking. No, it was really good. I want to read the others in the series.
I think there's like 5 or 6.
Yeah. And in the meantime, I haven't put myself in the wait list for those, but I just got in my Libby this book that I had been waiting for by an Ottawa local author, Amal El Mukhtar. El Mukhtar. It's called The Frozen River. No, The River Has Roots. The River Has Roots. And I have totally forgotten what this book is about because someone recommended it to me way too long ago. And the wait list was crazy. And so I'm excited to not know anything about it and just start listening to A Surprise.
I have a paper copy of it. I should pull that out and read it alongside.
Oh,
I
that would be
also
great.
want to read it.
Yeah. I'm an audiobook girly because I like to do something with my hands as I'm listening or go walk Bilbo while I'm listening to my book. And so I'm usually really slow going because I'll only put it on when I have to like go out or I'm commuting or something, which doesn't happen often in the year of our Lord 2026. So that's it. What am I knitting? I am knitting the Ower Toorie, which I just dropped some stitches on. Hold on. It's okay. They won't unravel.
Nope.
This is the Ower Toorie.
That's a hat.
It's a hat. I'm on 1.5 repeats of 4.
Nice.
And once it's blocked, it's gonna go on my head. Right now, it's a crown.
Yep.
And this is a pattern that I got from the Shetland Wool Week official website. They release a pattern every year. It's very affordable, and I like to purchase it every year because it helps them continue to do their great wool representation in the Shetland. So yep, that's what I'm making, and I'm making it on my super awesome custom made knitting belt or mackin belt that Mary, one of the other instructors at Wabi Sabi where I teach, made for herself, and then I asked her to make one for me, and here it is. I'm still getting used to it. It's pretty difficult to get the hang of it, I would say, after having been knitting continental or English style for a while, because this requires me to push down on the needle.
Because it's like lever back style, or
It
no?
is a lever style for sure. So you're supposed to use the pad of your hand to push the working needle on, and then just use a flick of the wrist to wrap the yarn. Which when you're working with a single color is much easier, but now I'm having to tension the yarn with two fingers because I'm using 2 colors at a time to make this color work hat. So it's a little bit more complicated than I am used to, but that is okay.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be amazing, and also level up project, baby.
Yeah, because you made the one last year, and it is fantastic.
Yeah, I did. I really liked it. It's supposed to look like rams. But then I posted on Instagram and someone said, "Did you make a hat with a bunch of balrogs in it?" And I'm like, I didn't, but now it is a balrog. It's really cool. I don't remember what that one is called, but I know that this one is the Ower Toorie.
Nice.
That's what I'm knitting. Yay! Hey, we made it in only an hour.
That's
In
actually
7
pretty
minutes.
impressive.
We're making really good time.
Did we say that we were yappers? Because
This is the Yapper Club.
yappers not
Can't
anonymous.
shut
Yappers
up.
unite.
So, what's the
Okay,
burning question,
so-
topic, observation you have?
Yeah. Well, all right. Here's the thing.
Is it burning?
I
Should
don't
you
know.
see a doctor about it?
Burning. It's
Not
it's
that kind
it's
of
not
burning.
A 5
Oh,
alarm
phew.
fire or anything. Wow. See a doctor about it? Just pick that up. Guys, I'm tired. It's Sunday. No, so it's more like this is a topic of conversation for us to just carry on for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll move into our inspirations in a little bit when we've reached the natural end of our conversation. But the thing that I kind of wanted to bring up today, because I've just been noticing it, and I don't have any like firm opinion one way or another, but I just think it's kind of interesting. So I've been seeing a lot over the last 2 weeks, and this could just be that like my YouTube algorithm is now showing me this content. Maybe it's always existed, I'm not sure. But over the last 2 months, I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube from like knitting and crafting podcasts related to my stash has gotten out of control, I need to de-stash, or like, oh my god, my whips are out of control, I need to figure out what I'm doing with them, just finish it. Or like, I've frogged half my whips, I feel so much better. Or like, oh, I have, 300 skeins of yarn, I need to get rid of a bunch of it. And it's just been a lot of content surrounding paring back what we have, getting rid of stuff. Like, I hesitate to say start fresh, but like with the goal of maybe starting fresh. And at first I was like, oh, okay, we're heading into the new year. That kind of makes sense that we'd see a lot of content related to that. But then I was like, actually, wait a second. The state of the world as we're in right now, could that have
something to do
with this? Could it be that we have moved from this like hyper consumerist society now with the economic strains that we are all facing due to tariffs, due to resource supply, due to the mess that is AI on the environment? Could that all be shifting us away from hyper consumerism into almost an anti-consumerist mindset because of scarcity? We're all trying to like pare down what we have. Like, could that be connected? I don't know. I am not a social academic. Like, I don't study anthropology. I don't study economics. I'm just an observer in the world who's trying not to look at the news more than she absolutely has to, because I want to be able to get to the end of every single day without crying. We're only at like 4 out of 10 this month so far crying. So like, you know what? That's less than 50%, so that's pretty good. But I've been noticing this kind of content of like, I have too much, I need to get rid of it.
Yeah, but okay.
And I'm just curious as to like, what is that? Am I reading too much into it?
Are you also seeing that?
No.
You're not getting that?
So maybe it's just my algorithm.
So, but even if it was, I'm not sure I would necessarily pair that with people being anti-consumerism, because if that was the case, or let's say they wanted to be more like conscious of how much stuff they have, wouldn't they want to use what they have instead of buying new stuff rather than getting rid of what they already have? Right? Like if let's say I'm struggling financially, which I am, but like, are we all? But like, let's say you're struggling financially and you make the conscious decision of I need to cut back on my spending, then you're gonna have, or at least I would have the inkling of I'm gonna use what I already have. So I wouldn't want to get rid of what I already have. I would want to use it instead of buying more. Having said that, maybe the idea of getting rid of things is more because they want a fresh start, because it's the new year. It's a very, like, I've always found it really strange to want to get rid of, like, you've spent money on it, you bought it, at some point you had an idea of what you wanted to do with it.
Are you seeing destash as in like I'm gonna use up what I have, or destash as in like it's getting out of my house?
Both.
Okay.
See, the I'm gonna use it, both. I can understand. The one I say this again, it really is a personal choice. There are people who, let's be real, if your house is messy or has a lot of things it can have an effect on your mental health. So getting rid of stuff can actually be very therapeutic.
Well, it really depends on. Part of the reason why I'm thinking like it might be indicative of something in a more like global societal context is because I have also seen a pushback against haul videos when it comes to clothing, when it comes to luxury items, when it comes to makeup.
I can confirm.
And so I've seen this, like, I've seen a lot of influencers who create those kind of haul videos now saying, I'm not getting engagement with my content. Like, people don't like, what do you want to see? Like, if you don't want to see me open the boxes of stuff, like, what do you want me to show you? And so it's just, I'm like, are we kind of getting a quasi kind of reflection of that in the yarn world?
Maybe. That one, I believe, I haven't seen it again. It's not part, like, I don't think there's much fashion in my algorithm. Yeah. Having said that, I can see it because if, again, we are going through a pretty, like, scarce...
Austere?
Yeah. Sorry, scarce or austere period. Do you really want to look at someone unboxing 20,000 things that they've bought? Not really. Like, at the end of the day, if anything, you'd want to see, not necessarily the opposite, you'd want to see, or I would want to see videos or things on how to use what I already have, how to deal with not buying more stuff, or how to, I don't know, better my finances, whatever. But like, I wouldn't want to watch a video about somebody like literally flaunting what they bought, or not even bought, what they got from like sponsors and stuff. Okay, that's good for you. I'm not really interested in that. So, and I don't know, like, that's just my opinion. I would not be interested in that content to begin with.
I guess it's just interesting because like my algorithm is, I'd say 97% yarn, stationery, and books.
Okay.
Is what my YouTube algorithm is.
Books, yarn, animals.
There you go. And it's all three of those worlds. People are creating content around destashing. And so I guess I was just like curious, like, are we moving into this period of minimalism again?
I mean,
because we were in a period of minimalism, and then we were moving into maximalism was trending, and now are we shifting backwards to more minimalism?
But
and then what does that reflect on a larger global
here's the thing about humans
system?
Like, we're going to go philosophy a little bit, but humans tend to do this thing where our reactions as a society, not individually, but as a society, tends to be kind of like a pendulum effect. Where we go from one extreme to the other, or overcorrect all the time. Like, you can see it throughout history. It's not the first time. We always do that. We tend to go from here to here. We never really settle down there where, here
in
would probably be the midpoint or the better. We tend to, everything you do, and that's just not, it's just in yarn, it's literally in every aspect of life. That is what society does. We tend to overcorrect, which is not, sometimes we do need to correct a behavior or a whatever, but we tend to go so far the other side that it kind of, it creates new problems, and I feel like right now, if we are entering this, I mean, we are in many places in the world. I want to say that we are either entering a recession or already in a recession. So you're going to see a lot of people having to do more with less. So it's going to create different, behaviors.
I think this is a reflection of a recessive economy. Definitely. What I have observed in the content that my algorithm has been pushing for me, which, by the way, the algorithm is just a reflection of
what you search and interact
of what
with
you're searching for and what you're interacting with. So the more you look at videos of people doing destashes, the more destash videos you're going to get. Which so it might give you the impression that there's more of it than it actually is. In my experience, the kind of content that I'm getting is a circular
economy.
It's like a circular movement almost of the kind of content. Kind of like what Carine was saying about the pendulum of overcorrection. What I've observed over the last couple of years is that there is, in the middle of the year or like around spring cleaning-ish, there's a lot of videos that I get about people like either destashing and like clearing out materials that they don't want anymore, or stash busting because they are overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that they have. But then towards the end of the year, there is a lot of overconsumption again.
But I mean, if you look at it from that, like, it makes a lot of sense, because spring cleaning, a lot of people have this list, like, spring is coming, especially if you live in a country where you have the 4 seasons. You kind of want to, like, you have this urge to clean. I do. Like, not necessarily to get rid of things, but I have the urge to de-clean my house like nobody's business. And some of that also comes with reorganization of the closet, of the kitchens, of, like, everything.
Sure.
And for me anyway. And I feel like it makes sense that you would see a lot of content related to that, because there's a lot of people who probably have that feeling of like, it's spring, it's going to be summer soon, and I want to, like, you want to, it's kind of like the equivalent of opening the window in the spring when it's like no longer -30. True. And you just like, you want fresh air in the house. So it's the same feeling. But then at the opposite, like you said, at the end of the year, it's the overconsumption that usually comes from, like, especially the period right after Halloween, because then it's like Christmas is coming.
Black Friday sales, Christmas sales.
Because it's also, that's what I was going to say, it's also engineered that way, where it's not just us as our behavior. We were, like, society, and not just society, but like big corporations have literally created this environment where we are like it's all sheep. We're sheep shepherded into like this is the period where you're supposed to spend money and also spend it.
Yeah.
And that's why even when we are in a recession or not financially doing super well, we still spend
cycle of
a lot of
consuming
money.
and then regretting that consumption continues.
Well, that's why January, February tends to
something
be really depressing for people.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something else that I've observed on this same topic that I think is quite telling, and that is that while there is this subset of the community or of the making community and the arts community that are looking to reduce the amount of materials that they have, there's also sometimes overlapping but sometimes a completely different subset of people that are making items so freaking fast.
Oh yeah.
That around this time of the year, it's not content that I'm getting of like, oh, these are the things that I'm changing and reducing. It's, here is a roundup of the 46 sweaters that I made in 2025.
Yes, I've seen those.
Excuse me? You so made much. How many things? That's a sweater a week? Are you kidding me?
There's also thin privilege in that, but I'll leave that for another week.
Exactly. Well,
I mean, there's also time privilege, like in the sense that we don't know what their situation
but hold on. What I'm going for with this is a lot of us start knitting or crocheting because we want to slow down, shop more consciously, because we have a sustainability mindset, or because we want to oppose fast fashion, or we want to have unique pieces that we made ourselves. And all of that is dependent on us consuming less.
Oh, 100%.
The moment that we get proficient and fast, I feel like there is a switch that turns on in which your overconsumption self shines back through. And you start, and I say you as in like we start to want to have the item faster and faster, to the point where now there's people out there that are producing by hand the same amount of or more of garments and accessories that anyone else would just buy throughout the year. Would you, a non-knitter, buy 47 sweaters in a year? Probably not. And are we about to say that these people that are knitting so much with new materials, I should say, are not over-consuming?
That's true. They would,
Just because you're making it by hand doesn't mean you're saving any water or animals or materials or the environment. We are still over-consuming, except we're also over-consuming and overworking ourselves.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I would have a caveat to this. I can only speak for myself, but I have these moments where I will knit insanely fast. And it's not because I want the product any faster. It's literally because my hands can't stop moving. I don't know how to explain the feeling. I'm usually very stressed or very anxious about something, or I have a lot of emotions that I can't express. So the best way for me to do it is to literally power through an entire knitting, and it will be
it's almost like a coping mechanism?
Almost like a coping mechanism. And I'm not saying that's that could just be me 100%. So I agree with you, but I also think there may be some people who are doing it for, because I mean, if they're doing it for the sake of selling that yarn, or sorry, that those products, that's one thing, because I mean, I guess it's their livelihood.
Here's the
but if it's not,
I think the problem is that it's not. I think the problem is that the need to produce internet content.
Yes, that I would understand.
Taken over the benefits of the mindful practice or of slow making. And I 100% agree with you. Sometimes I need to get outside of my head and have a mental rest. And this is what brings me mental reprieve.
100%.
This is what brings me peace, what brings me back into my body and allows me to slow down an otherwise spiraling stream of thoughts, right? It can be very overwhelming, and this can really help. But I cannot imagine the amount of pressure and stress that these content creators are putting themselves through to be able to every week have a new finished object, so that they every week can have a new vlog.
And you can actually translate that into other areas of content creating, not just knitting, but anything from sewing to anything where it's
100%
crafting of any kind, and even just not crafting. I'm thinking of people who like will literally have like 2, 3, 4 videos, vlogs or posts or whatever a week, where like there's a lot of editing involved, a lot of like photography, a lot of. And
when it's your full-time job, though,
I'm assuming that it's their, or at least if it's not their full-time job, whatever they're doing on the side gives them a lot of time to do these things, right? Because I agree with you, but I think a part of them are very much trapped in this like instant validation. Instant validation, because it's really about what will, like, I hesitate to say this because I don't want to generalize, but I do feel like in many cases, if they don't do these things, they feel like they're not bringing value,
like they become irrelevant.
Yes. So there's a lot of that, like, I need to produce, or I need to show content, or I need to do something so that I don't fade into, you know, obscurity. Especially the more, I'm assuming the more followers you have, the more that feeling is,
well,
you know?
because it also, like, the masses, the public can be extremely demanding.
Yes, they can.
And like content creation has been romanticized as this like super privileged, prolific, creative endeavor that only the really lucky get to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is a possibility for everyone. I don't think that the examples that results in are a healthy role model for other makers. And I really wonder if these cycles of like I'm destashing, or I'm hauling, or I'm stash busting, and I'm producing at the same time, like I wonder if those cycles are affecting everyone the way that I feel affected.
I think to a degree, yes, because recently, and I'm not sure how recently, in Canada, it was made so that you could not monetize Instagram. Right? So like at a functional federal legislative level, there have been measures put in place to prevent people from monetizing that kind of content creation because it has been found to be detrimental to people's mental health.
Well, that's the thing. And it comes back from, like, again, it's that it is a paradox when you think about it, because crafting should be slow, but we have this, it shouldn't be as fast fashion. It shouldn't be as fast as a click and, you know, but everything in our life has become
this instant reward,
right? Like, look at it. Look at the way you buy things. So it used to be a whole process to buy something. You had to go to the store, you had to like choose something, you had to, and now we're in a situation where even when it first started on the internet, you still had to insert your information, blah blah blah, choose if you choose if you wanted to. Now all you have to do is have an account on Amazon, click, buy, done. You don't have to think. So it creates this instant, I need this result right away. So if you also pair that with whoever has a big following, like you said, that following could very well pressure that you know, the amount of time I've seen, like, there's one content creator that I used to follow like years ago, and they would do a video maybe every 2-3 weeks, or maybe something like that. It wasn't like a lot, but people loved their videos, and then they were like, we want more, and then they went on Instagram and they went on TikTok. I don't know if they ever did TikTok, but anyway, and eventually they actually had to take a step back, and they're like, I can't do this. I have to go. I want to see the regulars who knew this influencer right away were like we understand, we're so sorry to hear that, but at the same time, a part of me was like, but I don't want to be that person that tells you it is kind of your fault. But if every video this person posts, your first instinct is to say, we want to see more, then you're low-key pressuring this person into creating more. And yes, they don't have to listen to you, but they kind of do, because it is a system where
their livelihood depends on
audience. So this person actually posted on I think it was Instagram, like, not that long ago, and there were still people in the comments like, we want to see you back, you've been gone so long. Let this person live, let them breathe, let them do their own thing at their own pace. Why do we have to pressure people into doing more?
Controversial opinion. The only thing a content creator owes the masses is transparency.
Yes. Honesty, transparency. Yeah.
I think that's
kind
the
of agree.
only thing a content creator owes the masses.
Transparency in what regard? Because
Well,
if I wanna keep my private life private and
Well,
I
no,
create a
no.
persona
Like,
and I
transparency
don't
around-
tell you how the sausage is made, I just give you the sausage. Is that is that bad?
Transparency in the sense that, like, I can, like, picture this in my mind, but I can't find the words to say it. But essentially, transparency in the sense that, like, if they are getting paid to produce a video, that they're saying they're getting paid to produce that video. If they are receiving something for free on the expectation that they create content around it, they're saying that. They're not feeding you a lie, being like, oh my god, I love this product so much, it's so great, I use it every day, when it's something that they received as a PR package
and they don't use it.
Oh,
and
so
then they don't
add
use it.
transparency.
Add transparency.
Got it.
But in hand with that, if the point of their page is to become monetized, that's okay.
But then
so long
it.
as I know that that's the
Yeah.
point of the page.
I
I don't
kind
need
of
to know anything
I
about
have-
their private life.
Yeah.
I just want to know that if I'm following them, it's not because I'm following them under false pretenses.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that because I've seen, like, I mean, we've all seen the people who were self-proclaimed, I don't know, health influencer,
Yeah.
vegan, and then all of a sudden you find them they're eating meat or they're not doing what they're. And look, it's one thing to do whatever you want in your private life. That's totally fair. But if you built your entire career
don't
on
shill something
dissing everybody
that's
else who
false.
does this thing that you just got caught doing, then
Yeah.
like what, like, you know what I mean? I think this is what you mean,
Yeah,
a little
that is
bit,
what
and
I mean.
I agree with that. Like, I mean, I've never been in this situation where somebody I was following, I mean, or if it did happen, I didn't notice. But if I was in that situation, I would 100% no longer want to follow this person, or I wouldn't trust them anymore. But again, you're right in the sense that, like, no, it's like coming back to just celebrities in general. I still remember in high school having a discussion on what celebrities owed us. And half the class, it was
Nothing.
a debate, and half the class was saying, we
Everything.
own them because that's their job. Their job is to
We
be
make them
celebrities.
famous,
We make them famous, therefore we own them. And then the other half was like, this is a job. This is just like a doctor, a dentist, a whatever. Like, this is their job. You do not need to know what they eat every day for them to do their job. And I feel like the people who are on the other side were like, we own them. There's a kind of person that has that mentality
of
like
entitledness.
Well, it's not just entitledness. It's almost like, if I can't have this life, I need to live it through you in everything
It's
that you
a
do.
parasocial relationship.
That's
the term
Right?
I'm looking for.
So, like, there's because here's the thing. I can respect and love a celebrity, an influencer, whatever, somebody who has a lot of influence in the world.
Yeah.
And I can still respect the fact that they have a family, that they have their good days and bad days, that they make mistakes, that they are human and they can get sick or what. I can still appreciate their work and understand that they sometimes need a break from the spotlight.
Sure.
But there are people who cannot.
Yeah.
And I feel like those, like I said, it's almost like they're living vicariously through that one person or that group of people. And if they don't have this content, then they are not living themselves. Does that make sense?
Parasocial relationships are recognized in the, like, psychology world. I don't know if we're necessarily qualified. We're not qualified to comment on that.
Not at all.
I certainly am not. But I'm
is-
interested.
But it is something that has been becoming more prevalent in like psychology related spaces.
But it's also we are in
and
a
it
world
is something
where,
to be concerned about.
well, yeah, because right now it's not just like the singers or actors in this world. It's literally anybody who can be on social media and have an influence is now not necessarily a target, but like can have this happen to them. And it's terrifying. One of the reasons why I would never want to be in that.
Online.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I have thoughts about this, like, the entitlement of your life becoming content, and whether or not you owe it to the public. It's definitely a conversation that I want to continue, but I kind of want to bring this back to like what happens when those like social media personalities start feeding us this contradictory content. Like, what happens inside me when at the same time as I'm seeing someone like, I'm getting rid of my stash in 2026. I've been over consuming and I need to go back to basics. So all of this is things that I know no longer bring me joy. Off they go and they get it out of their house, and it makes me feel like, oh my god, yes, me too. But then at the same time, there's other content of people that are like, I'm knitting 64 sailor slippers in a week to give to all of my friends and family. And I'm like, oh my god, yes. Why am I not as productive? I'm so fucking slow. What am I doing with my practice? I'm never going to catch up. And so I continue to consume, and so I continue to produce, and I push myself, and I buy more. But at the same time, I'm being shamed by this other person that's morally superior to me because they got rid of their stash. But at the same time, people are hauling their stashes and being like, look at all these things that I got from this amazing new vendor. And it is this contradictory tug, and like it's a tug of war between what I'm supposed to be doing and who's correct and morally right.
There's no
correct.
First of all,
there's no right
let's start with that.
This is reminding me really deeply of some of the discourse that's been surrounding the Nitty Natty's content over the last few years. So the Nitty Natty, Natalie, is an American yarn knitter, podcaster, who a few years ago, she and her partner decided to like leave New York City and get into a van and like drive across country for like a year, traveling to all of the states, whatever. So in the lead up to that, she did this huge D-stash where she worked through her stash, she gave a bunch of it away, and she got down to like 2 skeins of yarn. That was her entire stash. It was like this whole thing. It was like almost a full year, I think, that she spent doing that, and chronicled the whole thing, and it was really cool. And then they leave New York City, they get into this van, they hit all of the states, and they even went into Canada. And part of the content that they created was visiting a lot of local yarn stores in all the places that they visited. And then she purchased yarn in most of those stores, and then in many cases sent it back to her parents' place, because once they were finished with their van life, they were going to go there for a little while before they moved on to their next thing. People were like, this is so cool, you're showing all these shops and you're showing all these things that you bought. But then as soon as their van life was done and they get back to her parents' house, she's got all of this yarn there, and she's like, cool, I'm going to create content around organizing all of it, coming up with projects, and then maybe also de-stashing some of it because I purchased it maybe over a year ago, or I bought it with the intention of giving it away, like whatever. And all of a sudden, her comments were filled with all of this hate because people were like,
why'd you buy it in the first place?
Why'd you buy it in the first place? You just did this huge de-stash thing. Like, why are you over-consuming now? Like, blah, 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 blah. And it was this weird dichotomy of, like, you did the thing, we're proud of you. Now you're doing the other opposite thing, we're proud of you. But you're going back to the first thing. Why'd you do that? Why'd you even do the second thing if you're going back to the first thing? And it was just really weird. I haven't watched very many of the videos, so I don't know what the current state of the comment section is, but it was just this really interesting whiplash that the viewers were giving themselves.
But
right?
Okay, so
because we project our self-validation
on
what other people are doing.
This wasn't like 3 months worth of content. This was like 2-3 years worth of content, where she's doing the wave down and she's doing the wave up, and like this is a long period of time that she's going from one to the other to the other.
And it is an honest thing that all of us go through.
We all do it. We all do it.
But that's the thing.
And that's her full-time job,
but
right?
It's not so. You have to understand the mentality of humans is when you see something on social media, there's this disconnect that this is another human being. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's this disconnect that this person is a human
with feelings and thoughts,
that has feelings and thoughts and ups and downs. It's very much like you're watching a TV show, and you're just watching the people, and you see. Like, I'm gonna low key say it's almost like you're watching something that's not real, or you're watching and. Actually, I'm going to go back to what you were saying, Anahí, a little before when you were like that tug of war between the two. I was going to ask you a question. If you have people, because we have a pretty darn good, loving knit community here, and a lot of different people. Some of them produce a lot. Some of them don't produce a lot or produce very slow. Some of them have 50,000 whips. Others have 2. We have different people doing different things. And for some reason, it doesn't affect us the same way.
Yeah.
Why is that? Just like I said, because
we have more context of their life.
That is here.
So the second you're on social media, or not just social media, but like behind a screen, essentially, it's like this anonymity. Sorry.
Yeah,
anonymity that happens on both sides. Because you are anonymous, but so is the other person on the other side. No matter how much you think you know them.
Yeah, we're only getting like 10% of their life.
You only get to see what they want you to see. Mm-hmm. Or what somebody else has caught and they didn't want. Either way, like you're not seeing the full picture. You're not hearing the full conversation. You're just seeing snippets. And it's very easy to get angry because what we do, what our brain does when we only get snippets, is it fills in the blanks for ourselves. So it's easy to look at somebody who's doing something like, let's say, the van life and go like, that's exactly what I would do. And then you start filling in the blanks of how you would have done it and how you would have done this differently and that differently and how you would react. And then when the creator doesn't react the same way or doesn't do the same thing,
you assign moral stances, right? You're like, because this is not how I would have done it, then it's wrong.
Exactly. So it's kind of it's kind of crazy when you think about it because again, none of these behaviors are different from generations ago. Yep. They are just more present because everyone
more obvious, more
does
observable.
It. But like before, it used to be, I don't know, royal people living their best lives in the in the castle and shit, and then people would be like, that's how they live, and like it's again, it's that like I would have done things differently, but you don't get to see the whole picture, and I will die on that hill. But it makes me sometimes get angry when people get angry at somebody for making a mistake, saying a bad, like a wrong word, or doing, like reacting a way they didn't like, so they attack the person right away. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not perfect. And so why are you asking these people to be perfect in everything that they do if you are not perfect? And if your answer is because that's what they're supposed to do, then I say BS 100%. Nobody is meant to be perfect. If you want perfection, write a book about it. Where your story, like that story is perfect, but like that is not life. Life is messy. Life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of people going through emotional situations, health situations. Like you don't know. Like do not judge somebody by one content, one post, one reel, one whatever.
And I think the problem is that not the problem. One of the problems.
There are many problems.
Is that I don't think we are capable of separating scripted media from reality TV, from semi-reality, from like YouTube people created content, like user created content. We are not able to see that. No. So I don't think it's fair to hold to the same standard the person that just has a crochet blog that they post about, and that's what they do and what brings food to their table. So 8 hours, 10 hours a day they're crocheting, good for them. It's not fair to compare them with an actress that gets paid to say things that don't represent her. So she's not sharing her life. She doesn't own anything. She has people that manage her. Yeah. And is able to separate her on-screen persona with her personal persona, but the user on YouTube that is doing that on their own, they don't have that privilege. They are selling themselves, and that's what we're consuming. But as consumers, we make no distinction. We say like, you're as public as Emma Stone, so I'm going to judge you like I judge Emma Stone. No offense to Emma Stone.
That's a really good good point.
So of course, we're going to have these feelings of morality against and judgment against people that are creating content about themselves, as we do. Like, oh, this show was absolute crap because they didn't do this and they didn't do that, and the production was this, and they make this choice for the character, etc. And we are judging real people the way we judge scripted media, and we have no way to distinguishing it. And I think that's why there's such an abundance of different stances on like how much stuff should you have, how many finished objects you should have in a year, and this should like you shouldn't have so much, you should have this much, you should slow down, you should speed up.
And the thing is, there's not a correct answer. Exactly. I was gonna say, I think it's also we have to go back to our own responses as individuals. If I watch a YouTube video or an Insta reel or whatever, it entertains me or doesn't, or angers me or whatever. I live my emotion as I watch it, and then I move on. Mm-hmm. Like, unless the content literally is directed at me personally as a human, why am I, like,
still hung up on it?
Like it's also, and I know it's hard to say this because doom scrolling is a thing, and sometimes it does gets very emotional, especially if your algorithm kind of like catches on certain trends that are not necessarily healthy for you, and then they kind of like force feed you that stuff, and then you just get more and more and more. That's why I feel like sometimes to reset that algorithm is a really, really good thing, because it will make you, first of all, it kind of like gets you out of this like fog of only what these things that you see, but you also get to see new content that you didn't really think you would want, and then you're like, oh shit, I want this in my life. But it's us being more accountable for our own reactions to those videos, those people, those celebrities, that content, and realizing it is a content. It is what do you call it? Entertainment. Entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah.
It's entertainment.
That's what it is.
It is not a rule book on how to live your life. It's not. It's not a roadmap. It's not a. Yes, it can help you make decisions sometimes, or it can help you like do certain things, but it should not direct your life. It shouldn't have any effect on how, like, a video, let's put it this way, an Instagram video shouldn't tell you how to make a life-changing decision. That's what I mean. It's like, it's still up to you. It's you as a human being. You have critical thinking. Use it.
And if you don't, get some.
I really like how you phrase that we all should be accountable for our reaction to these videos. And I see a lot of the opposite of that. You see a video, you have a negative reaction, you don't take accountability for you feeling that way. You blame the person that created that, and you're like, you are a bad influence for the knitting community because you are producing way too fast. Remember how much people hated Rebecca Clow when she had to make this explanation video, like, hey, I'm just knitting all day. I'm here doing my regular job in my meetings, and I'm knitting. I can't help how fast I do it. That's just what I want to do. Yeah. Like, and the fact that we have to defend both positions because people have negative reactions to both extremes is really exactly what you said, Carine. We are not taking accountability for the way that we react to the content that we're seeing. We're not using our critical thinking skills to accept it for what it is. Entertainment.
Yeah. And then I think, in a way, it would be nice if everybody kept using that, what is it, tidying, what's the book, Kondo Mary's tidying up, bring yourself joy. Just take whatever part of this video brings you joy, whether it's a tip or whether it's a reaction or, I don't know, a new song. You know how many songs I found on Instagram that I was like, this is a nice song, I want it, and now I have it. The point is, take what you want from that and then leave the rest you didn't like behind and then move on.
Long story short,
do what you want.
Do what you want, but also get off the internet more regularly.
Oh my God, yes, please. Yes,
like
100%. Especially now.
Pick up a book, go
for
a walk.
As she's on the internet.
So, no, but here's the thing.
I mean, I'm going to go home and I'm not going to look at my phone until tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go home and I'm going to pick up a book. And I'm going to read it. And then I'm going to do some meal prepping. And then I might watch an episode of Mighty Nine because I just realized that they've all come out and I haven't watched any of them. And I'm like,
I know. I only watched 2 episodes.
But it's like, I'm intentionally going to step away from internet content because I just spent time on it.
Yes. And
good decision.
Here's the thing. Coming from somebody who has to listen to the news every day for her job. For the love of God, if you don't have to,
get off of it.
Get off of it. Because it when you don't have a choice, it is very jarring. Even if the content is not as aggravating as it is right now. It's still a lot to process. So if you do have the opportunity to not look at your phone, or even not just look at your phone, just not look at the news and the content, the social media content, then please do it. Like, take a break. Go, like, I don't like to say, like, I don't like to say, go take a walk outside.
Do
like,
it for yourself.
Do something. Exactly. Do something.
Put some distance between you and the world.
Like, do something.
You deserve
like,
that.
I don't know. Put on music and just dance.
Okay, truly, I have started doing karaoke and having a dance party when I'm cooking.
Yes!
And it has become...
I do that too!
It is so good for my brain because I'm just like, I put on a playlist and I'm like, I'm making my carbonara or I'm making a stew or whatever the hell, and I'm just like bopping around in my kitchen and I'm like, oh, that's a dopamine boost that didn't result from me looking at a screen. That can happen.
Does it mean that sometimes the recipes take longer or that we burn them? Sometimes.
That's fine.
But who cares?
What, are you in a hurry?
It was totally worth it anyway. And I feel like it's true. Like, a kitchen dance party really does, like, lift the spirits.
Yep.
So, and nobody's watching, so who cares? You know?
Well, I mean, my window faces, you could probably see me dancing in my kitchen from my
the advantage of being on the 5th floor, but...
But all that to say... Take a break from the internet regularly.
Yes.
You know, put some distance between you and the wider world. Let your nervous system calm down. It might also make you have a good cry because, you know, you're moving away from that like, hypervigilance.
Yeah.
What was it? Okay, I saw this thing the other day, and it made me pause and think, and it was so smart. And it was this content creator. It was a video that was pushed at me, but it was so true. The person was talking about how they had decided that they were going to do a bit of like a social media detox over the holidays, and how they put their, like, deleted all the apps off of their phone, and like put one of those like block things on so that they could only access certain things at certain times. And on like the second day of this, you know, detox, they ended up waking up and just having like a really big cry.
Oh,
and like
that must have felt so cathartic.
And they, you know, they thought about that over the rest of their holidays, and they're like, what happened is that my system was in hypervigilance for so long, being surrounded all the time, having access all the time to this news, that when I had a chance to step away from it, my system could move out of that hypervigilant state, and in that like, because what happens is your body kind of goes into this like safety mode, right? And so when finally it was like, I don't have to be protected from the outside world,
it's safe for me to feel.
Now I can feel all these big feelings.
Yeah.
And so they had that huge release of all those feelings, which proved to be very cathartic for them.
Interesting.
And they were like, after I had that huge emotional purge, I then was able to enjoy my time because I wasn't sitting in this like hover mode of like, be aware, don't 100%. Let it hit you immediately until you can be safe. They were able to just like enjoy the time with their family. And so, yeah, I guess all that to say, get off the fucking internet.
Yeah. And I think that is a good note for us to go into our last section of the day. Inspiration.
Hold on, we have a jingle.
Yep.
If
it's coming.
I can get started.
Yes, please.
I have been musically inspired this past few weeks by a new to me artist called Olivia Dean.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all have been hearing Olivia Dean's Man I Need. And specifically there's a song called Easy to Fall in Love.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Oh my god, it's been on my brain non-stop. And just the way that her voice kind of like ripples is so soothing, and it's this combination of like modern and jazzy ballady genre. I don't even know how to describe it. But I've been really enjoying it, and it's been putting me in a vintage sort of mind. I know her music's not vintage, but it makes me want to wear short heel,
like kitten heels,
and like pencil skirts and short sleeve sweaters that have color work on them, and put on a beret or something. And I feel like I'm gonna use this inspiration to make an accessory or something that represents how I'm feeling listening to Olivia Dean's music. So if you haven't heard her, go and look her up. She's everywhere. And also, she's adorable to look at. So, yeah, great performer, great music. enjoying her right now, and I think she's going to, her influence is going to seep into my knitting very soon.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, I was gonna. I did have a bit of a caveat on that, or not caveat, like adding. For me, it's lo-fi right now. That's like the
musically inspiring
because it helps me like concentrate. But my inspiration right now is not this per se, but
did you finish it?
Yes, I did.
It's so
Wait. This is the cowl.
Me too.
So the pressed flower, but I was gonna say, so this is the cast off edge, which I'm sure you can see is quite
so nice.
sloppy.
No, not sloppy.
I wouldn't
trust
say
me,
sloppy.
it's pretty sloppy. But like you can,
It doesn't meet your standards.
so yes. But I was gonna say, what inspires me this week is imperfections in my knitting. So what I mean by that is it's so easy to fall into this trap of like,
The
and
perfectionist trap.
I did for this one where I was like, I need everything to look perfect.
Yeah.
But with this one, when I cast it off, I was like, fuck it. So I just literally went like, and then I didn't even like,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
so
so
it's
soft.
nice.
Oh my God.
I think I'm going to give it to my mom, mostly because I know
she's gonna love
she
it.
won't care about this part, and because I do. But also because she loves this color,
Yeah.
this color combination, and I think she would really like this, and it's so soft.
I love the fabric that you achieved with this gauge. It's so
Mhm.
Yeah.
soft.
So is this alpaca?
Very
yes,
drapey.
of course it's alpaca. So this is my
Kale's
laine maison.
surprise.
This is my laine maison. I still have, I think, one skein of the blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I could probably do like a little hat with this.
Cute.
Yeah, that would be perfect for her.
It's very drapey. It's
Yeah,
perfect for
it's really like,
accessories.
but yeah, so essentially imperfections is what inspires me this week, or rather giving yourself the grace to not necessarily have everything you do look perfect and wonderful and amazing. And you know, sometimes it's just, I was over this project and I just wanted to cast off fast.
As you are totally allowed to do.
So
You
that's
know,
my little.
The Dene indigenous peoples say that only the creator can make perfect things.
Mhm.
So you should never aim for perfection in
Yeah.
your art
Yep.
because you're not
Yeah.
them.
That's an adage in a lot of cultures.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
A lot
Yep.
of cultures. Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Love that.
That's
My
Imperfection.
inspiration this week is a bunch of my knitting and crafting books.
Nice.
So when I was looking for a pattern for my 12 cast-ons, I knew I wanted to pull one from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. And I picked, I think it's like the third or fourth pattern in the book. I was like, oh, the first one I see that I like. But then as I was flipping through the book, I was like, oh, I want to make those. Oh, I want to make those. Oh, I want to make those. And so then I'm sitting there in front of my bookshelf and I was like, let me look at the rest of them. And I flipped through like all of the pattern books I have, not just for knitting, but for like cross stitch as well. And I was just getting so like, oh my God, I want to make this. And oh my God, I want to make that. And anyway, it was just really fun to have the thought of making something where the pattern's in a book. And I don't actually have to pick up my phone to find the pattern. I can just like,
You can make notes in the book.
it's like
which is
just
what I'm
open in my
doing.
lap. And I was just like, oh.
Offline.
Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do. Oh, look at this boy. Look at you. He's so cute. I think I'm just gonna try to knit more from the books that I have
Printed media.
and the patterns that I already have. I think I'm just gonna I'm being inspired by the like books that are literally surrounding me at home.
So nice. You're surrounded by inspiration, just waiting to be accessed.
There's been a lot of dyers who over the last few years have been dyeing yarn inspired by like the cover of specific books.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's fun as a concept.
Yeah.
Actually, that's really
I don't dye yarn, so obviously I'm not going to do that. But I was like, oh, it might be fun to like pick a book that I'm reading that month and then whatever sock pattern I'm knitting, like match the yarn to that
Exactly.
book cover. Like that could be a fun thing
so
to do.
nice.
So yeah, I'm surrounded by a lot of books, both crafting and otherwise. And this big boy.
He's very inspiring as well.
He's
He is
very,
very
and right now I think he's inspired by an app.
Amen.
So
Amen.
am I. And with that, I think we will leave you guys to think, what's inspiring you this week? Are you surrounding yourself with things that bring you joy and that get your creative juices flowing? And if you aren't,
That's okay too.
that's okay too.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Do what you want to do. And we will say goodbye for now. Again, I'm Anahí.
I'm Allie.
And I'm Carine.
And we are your 3 pearls from Purl Perspectives. We'll see you again 2 weeks from now for another live stream.
Bye.
Bye.